Hello, good people. I am attorney Trina. I am the owner of Creative My Law. We are a legal law firm that helps entrepreneurs, business owners, startups secure their legacy and their brand through trademark, copyright, and business law. And so this, for the month of June, we've been talking about how to side hustle legally. In other words, how to keep your day job and side hustle without being fired. And so today, in the last day of the series, we are going to be sharing practical tips, like things you can be doing. So really quickly, the first thing I told you to do in the last video was this. I need you to get your offer letter and your contract, and I need you to go through them with a fine-tooth comb. Make sure there's no non-compete clause. Does it speak to the competitive, that you can't compete with somebody who is competitive? Even if it doesn't speak to that, that does not mean that you're off the hook. Because listen, what we're trying to do, well, the question that we're asking ourselves is, does your employer or will your employer or your employee have ownership of your product and or your services, right? And so that's the first step. Review that contract, review that offer letter. The second thing I need you to understand is that the nights and weekends belong to the hustle. What do I mean by that? I mean that you need to be scheduling your appointments, conversations when you are not on the clock. So let me give you some things you can do. You can use the app Calendarly, right? And go ahead and schedule your appointments. This will also help you if HR calls in, right? Let's say HR figures out you have a side hustle, right? And they accuse you of doing business on the side. You can pull up your Calendarly app and show them that all of your appointments have been outside of the days of employment, right? The other thing you want to think about doing is you want to make sure that if you are posting, right? Because that's what we do a lot of. We make flyers, we post. Get a scheduling app. I use Later, but you can use either one of them. You can use Hootsuite, you can use Canva, but get a posting app and schedule it so you can post during your work hours. So that way, if somebody said, well, she's posting, why? Because you know, we all got them hating employees, some hating coworkers, okay? So if one of the hating coworkers is like, oh, well, she was posting while she was at work, you can politely show HR that, no, I scheduled this last Saturday to post today at 10, and I've been busy doing A, B, and C while I'm here. What I'm saying is that there's technology out here. Like, you don't have to get caught in this way, but you've got to be prepared. You've got to strategize, and you've got to sit down and create a content planner, right? So the first thing, I need you to check that offer letter. I need you to check the contract. The second thing is that nights and weekends belong to the hustle. In other words, get you an app for scheduling, get you an app for posting, do those things in advance. And then let me tell you what the third thing is. And I'm gonna need you to lean in, because y'all do this too much. Get off them folks' Wi-Fi. Oh, Lord. Y'all stay going up in these folks' job on their Wi-Fi doing your personal business. And can I just drop this off, because I gotta share this example. It's not even just your business. Some of y'all on here doing personal stuff on the Wi-Fi and wondering why you're getting caught. Man, look, I know somebody that literally was like, they're discriminating against me. And all of the facts in the case led me to believe that they were discriminating against the lady, right? However, when you get to the discovery phase and you pull up emails where she'd been scheduling a sneaky link through one of the swipe right apps, right? She's scheduling her sneaky links on these folks' Wi-Fi. So even though they were discriminating against her, it was still grounds to be fired. So my point is, stay off their Wi-Fi, because they're tracking it. They are recording it. They're not joking around. And sometimes they may not fire you right then and there. They may be looking for a reason to fire you. And when you're on their Wi-Fi doing your personal business or doing business of your side hustle, you're giving them the rope to do it. So stay off them folks' Wi-Fi. As soon as you get there, you ought to turn it off. Use your, if you don't have your own Wi-Fi, buy a portable one, but stay off the Wi-Fi. That's the third thing. So the fourth thing is this. Stop using their computer or any other products that they've entrusted to you. If you are starting a side hustle and you're using your work computer, if you're starting a side hustle and you're using their camera, you're using their, whatever it is, their job, you need to stop, because you're going to be fired. That's not what they gave it to you for. And I know somebody's sitting there right now, well, as long as they don't know, they won't find out. Ma'am, they always find out. Like, we got to do something else, right? You need to buy a computer. And if you cannot afford the products that it takes to run your business, then maybe you need to hold off on it, right? Because you need your job. Some of you out here who are watching this, you need your job. Regardless of what the public says, you know you got big girl bills to pay, right? And so I'm trying to put you in a position where you're not going to be fired. So stop using their products. Stop using the work issue products to support your side hustle. Buy your own programs, buy your own laptops, buy your own camera. I work with a girl girl one time who was our who took pictures, right? She took all the pictures for the business, and she would take the camera home on the weekend. And so we thought she was taking the camera home because she was editing the pictures. No, homegirls was doing weddings on the side, and she did a good job for months, deleting them. One day we got the camera back, and guess what? The wedding pictures were on there. And so that's how she got caught, and that's how she got fired. I'm telling you, sometimes when you're doing that, you are bound to get caught. So stop using their products. So final tip for the series. I get this question all the time. Do I have to tell my boss? So we'll go into my tip number 5. The answer is it depends. It really depends, because this is going to depend on your work environment. Some of us, you have bosses who love you and they want to see you do well, and they will be supportive of what you're trying to do. And so that can be an honest conversation that you can have and feel secure in that, right? Then there are some of you who have some hating bosses who just feel like, oh, she's starting a business on the side, I'm gonna make her life a living hell. You may not want to tell that one, right? But here's the other tip that I have for you. Tip number 5. And I know some of y'all are probably like, wait a minute, what? I wouldn't befriend anybody I work with. I just would not accept friend requests from anybody I work with. Why? Because people will take your stuff out of context, and they'll be happy to report that to HR with you. So if you're friends with somebody that you work with just for the sake of being friends on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, it may be time to delete them, because they may be telling your business to the boss out of context, right? So I want you to understand is that when you say, well, should I tell my boss? I'm just going to tell you it depends. It really depends. You know your work environment, you know your boss, you know your supervisor. It may be in your best interest to tell them if you have that type of relationship, and it may not be. You're gonna have to decide that on your own. But I will tell you, you may want to delete them hated coworkers of yours, because I tell you, and you know what? Let's take it a step farther. It may not even be from malice. Sometimes people are just excited for you. So they may go to work and be like, hey, did y'all see that Ben did A, B, and C this weekend? And not really trying to tell your business, but they're just excited about what you've accomplished. And now your business is out there. So I'm just saying, sometimes it's best to not be friends with people on social media. I don't have none of my coworkers that's my friends, and the ones that are limited, okay? Because I don't play them games. I'm telling you, just like I would always say, listen, you've got to get it in a place where you can keep your business. That's the bottom line, right? You need to be able to keep your business. You need to be able to keep your job, because you still have bills. And when you're ready, when that business has reached a level where you feel like comfortable with letting your job go, then do that. But until such time, I need you to learn how to side hustle legally, right? And so I hope this series has been beneficial to you. I know in my own weird way, I have given you plenty of examples, but if you have any other questions, contents, definitely feel free to DM me on Instagram at Your Trademark Attorney. You can also reach out to me on Facebook at Creative Mind Law Firm. And you can make comments here on our YouTube page. Please subscribe at Creative Mind Law. Share, like, and we look forward to our next series in the month of July. Thank you. Take care. All right, let me give you a PSA. I am not your attorney. This video is not intended to be a client-attorney relationship. If you have specific questions or you need specific answers, you need to reach out to a business professional. This video is intended for educational purposes only. However, you definitely can set up a consultation with me by going to our website, www.creativemindlaw.com. Thanks.